I've been that guy. While you was at home doing this, I was in the club making moves.
Jake Paul, if this is not going to be, curated into a little dance around exhibition, could find himself in a way of getting seriously hurt here, like Francis Ngannou did. Francis Ngannou was an MMA fighter that got blasted out by Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua has finally spoken out after Jake Paul's latest training clips exploded online, sparking breakdowns, reactions, and fan theories across social media. Viewers replayed every slow-mo punch and heavy combination, and the buzz quickly made its way to AJ himself. The former unified heavyweight champion isn't someone who gets impressed easily, but he's clearly watching closely. With Paul appearing quicker, more polished, and more focused than ever, Joshua's comments show a mix of acknowledgement toward Jake's recent progress and a reminder that experience, ring IQ, and years at the top still give him the upper hand when they meet on fight night.
Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area level fighter, a British area level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, mate.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price
Agree with you.
on it in order to...
Back when Jake Paul was still getting his footing in the boxing world, Anthony Joshua surprised a lot of people with an unexpectedly positive take. In a 2025 interview, when asked about Paul, Joshua simply said, "He's good for the sport." That early nod showed he was willing to recognize Paul's impact on bringing new eyes to boxing, even if many at the time questioned whether Jake had a future beyond the hype. But now things have shifted. The matchup is real, the tension is higher, and the numbers matter. Paul steps into this fight with a 12-1 record and 7 knockouts, easily the toughest test he has ever taken on. Joshua, the former unified heavyweight champion, enters with a seasoned 28-4 record, bringing years of top-level experience into the ring.
To fight Anthony Joshua now. How do you think that's going to go?
Man, Anthony Joshua, I don't know why I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. No disrespect to Jake Paul, I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. I'm saying like within like 2-3 rounds.
Yeah.
You saw what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou?
Yeah.
Come on, I've never seen Francis get knocked out.
Yeah, that was huge too.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
huge.
both huge.
Yeah, he's huge. But you gotta hear the story. You gotta get Francis Ngannou in here and hear the story though.
I'd love to.
Bro, he was set up though, for real. I believe
On that fight?
Yeah, I believe him. Because here's what they do, like what sometimes what people don't understand. Like in boxing too, I don't know a whole lot about boxing. When you fight for promotion, they promote that fighter. So he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. So they was probably fighting at 3 a.m. and they had him in the locker room since like 12.
At their first face-off during the November 21st press conference, Anthony Joshua made his stance crystal clear. He framed the matchup as a massive, top-tier sporting event, one that blends global attention with real competitive stakes. Joshua stressed that he's approaching the fight with complete seriousness, promising a no-nonsense, no-mercy mentality once the bell rings. During that same event, Jake Paul was questioned about his expected fight night weight. He explained that he had recently been cutting down for a different bout, which makes moving up to heavyweight even tougher. Paul predicted he'd come in somewhere in the 215 to 225-pound range for this showdown on December 19.
Team, nothing negative. He's here to do his job. I could sit up here, as I said, and try and address all the things that Jake doesn't do good. But I'm fighting the Jake that's going to do everything good on December 19th. So let me focus on that. He's a good person, does his thing, great team around him, puts in the work, and that's why he's sitting here now. Anyone out there in the world that works harder than the next person deserves to be a front runner, and he's a front runner in the boxing game right now.
Respect. Jake, can I ask, it feels to me from afar, you're in a bit of a lose-lose here because it seems like a lot of people want to see you get obliterated, right? A lot of people want to see you get your comeuppance. And if you do pull off the upset, or if this fight goes the distance, again, the whispers will start to come. People will discredit you. People will say, this, that, and the other about the fight. How do you balance that, and how do you deal with that?
Man, I've already won at every single thing in life. I'm playing on house money. I've accomplished all my dreams, said everything I was gonna do, from becoming, the first influencer to become an actor on Disney, to becoming the biggest YouTuber in the world, to rising to the top of boxing and having the largest viewed fight in the history of the sport. I've accomplished everything, so this is a win-win and another challenge for myself. I've never been knocked down or knocked out even in sparring, but I'm in a sport where that happens, and I know this is dangerous, but this is no different than a soccer player, losing in the World Cup on the biggest stage. If that's how it goes, if I take one of those punches that Francis Ngannou took and I'm on the canvas, let's see how tough I am. Let's see if I can get back up. But I'm ready for that. I'm prepared for that mentally, and I know that he has to deal with me as well. This is not as one-sided fight as people think, and I have power. I have the ability to put people to sleep, and so that's why I took this challenge. And I know it's crazy and all of that, but I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. My team's excited, and everyone believes in me, and that's all that matters.
How much do you expect to weigh on fight night?
Man, I was cutting down for Gervonta, so it's been a little tough getting back up in some strength for this, but anywhere 215 to 225, we'll see.
Okay, and I want to clear something up with you, AJ. I saw on the press release that it said that on weigh-in day, you can't weigh above 245, but post weigh-ins, you can weigh whatever you want. There's no rehydration clause or anything like that. Is that accurate?
Whatever it says, yeah, I think that's the case. But my focus, 111 kilograms is what I got to weigh in at, right? I do kilograms, not
Yeah,
pounds.
I don't know. You stumped me on that one. What is 111? Should I look it up?
Jake Paul insists this matchup is his chance to silence every critic who ever said he only targets smaller fighters or opponents past their prime. In his view, stepping in with Anthony Joshua, a full-size heavyweight and former unified world champion, proves he's willing to face real danger. Paul claims that a win here erases every doubt for good, stating that once he beats Joshua, nobody will be able to question me again. The bout itself is a fully sanctioned professional heavyweight contest under the traditional marquee of Queensberry rules. The fight is scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds, with both men wearing 10-ounce gloves. One key stipulation requires Joshua to come in at 245 pounds or less to keep the matchup within a defined competitive range. And with the result going directly on to each fighter's official record, there's no mistaking it. This isn't an exhibition or a stunt. It's a legitimate fight with real consequences for both careers.
Fight a real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed fighters for me to fight the world. Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix. My voice cracked, I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025, USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for. Jake versus Joshua, Judgment Day. He has a 90% knockout ratio, but I have a 100% chance.
Teddy Atlas offers a measured but curious perspective on the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua matchup. He admits the leap in skill and experience may be too much for Paul, yet he doesn't completely shut the door on the possibility of an upset. Atlas points to Joshua's recent knockout defeat and the long stretch of inactivity that followed, hinting that lingering doubts, or old shadows, as he puts it, could still be hanging over AJ. Even though he believed Joshua is the superior technician and the heavier hitter, Atlas says he's genuinely interested to see which version of Joshua steps into the ring on fight night.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse. he could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding too that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so, it makes it two things at once. Intriguing and some...
Ryan Garcia weighs in on what a loss could mean for Jake Paul, stressing that Joshua's raw power and experience carry consequences far beyond the final bell. He explains that if Paul gets beaten convincingly, the fallout won't just be physical. It could reshape how fans, fighters, and promoters view him moving forward. Garcia believes this matchup is a crossroads moment for Jake, because Joshua hits with a level of precision and force that can change careers. He insists Paul must approach the fight with absolute focus and preparation to avoid the kind of damaging setback Joshua can deliver. On the other side, concerns also linger about Joshua's own activity level. Since his split decision defeat to Alexander Usyk in 2022, AJ has only stepped into the ring twice in 2 years, creating questions about timing and sharpness as he heads into this unusual matchup.
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua?
By far?
Yeah. Too easy.
Why did he take that fight?
I think he didn't have no opponents and he wanted to make Netflix happy and he I think he made a misstep. I think he was handling his career perfectly.
Yeah.
I think he would have beat Gervonta.
I think he would have beat Gervonta too.
But I think this is a big misstep. I think he let his ego get in from him and let
Jake Paul entering a ring with Anthony Joshua isn't just a bold career move. It's a decision many analysts view as physically dangerous. Several respected voices in the sport, including Ariel Helwani, have stressed that Joshua's combination of heavyweight power and high-level experience puts Paul in real jeopardy. They argue that Joshua's history of devastating knockouts isn't just a stat on paper. It's a reminder of the kind of punishment Paul could be facing.
7 fights, has been beaten 3 times. The 4 fighters that he beat didn't come to win. So he's not in his prime, is he? He's literally at the end of his career, pretty much finished. And this is why taking this fight with you is telling you all you need to know. It's a cash out. You might as well just cream as much money as he can at the end of his career, fighting an absolute joke show in clown world. When I beat Anthony Joshua, he says, every doubt disappears. Come on. I mean, if this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a 1-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out loud. You can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, nothing's going to, no doubt's going to disappear.
Rising heavyweight prospect Moses Atama has also stepped in with a warning of his own, telling Paul that no payday is worth risking his long-term health. He cautioned that one clean heavyweight shot, especially from someone with Joshua's power, could leave lasting damage. Former champion Amir Khan echoed the same concern even more directly, stating that Joshua has a kind of punch that can seriously injure Paul, potentially causing lasting neurological harm.
I sparked him out in like 2 rounds. Really? No, why do you look surprised when I said that?
I don't. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Come on, bro. You're fighting like one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Like, come on. Like, respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers that, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's gonna get hurt badly, and this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly, because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damage is going on. AJ could hurt him badly, you know.
When you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat styles there is. I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou. So,
and that's why you don't look. You can't be surprised if AJ is going to do the same to. What's it called again?
MMA star Darren Till has also jumped into conversation, criticizing Jake Paul's decision to target Anthony Joshua. Till argued that Paul may be a master at generating headlines, but that doesn't mean he's earned the privilege of calling out a top-tier heavyweight. According to Till, the move comes off as disrespectful to someone of Joshua's stature. His view reflects what many traditional boxing fans feel, that Paul is reaching way beyond his lane with this challenge.
Is it all just, does he actually believe that he can beat Anthony Joshua? Is it all for clout? Is it all just to keep his... I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit disrespectful as well. Like, Anthony Joshua hasn't fucking been a heavyweight world champion, beating all these absolute killers just to get called out by Jake Paul. But look, if Jake Paul believes in himself, then, you know, you can't really fault that. Like, obviously, but sometimes it comes across as a bit delusion as well. Because I know for the fact that I'd fight Jake, I'd beat him up easy.
David Hay has sounded a serious alarm ahead of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul matchup, describing it as a clear mismatch. In an interview with Sky News, Hay emphasized the danger Paul faces, warning that Joshua's combination of size, strength, and experience could cause severe harm. He made it clear that if Paul underestimates Joshua, the consequences could be catastrophic. Physically, the two are far apart. Joshua measures 6 feet 6 inches with an 82-inch reach, while Paul is around 6 feet 1 inch with a 76-inch reach. Joshua usually weighs between 240 to 245 pounds and will be capped at 245 for this fight. Paul, who has spent most of his career at lighter weights, has bulked up to about 227 pounds in his recent heavyweight bouts. This disparity in height, reach, and weight gives Joshua a substantial advantage in both power and range.
Fight, £100 million potentially. Are you confident it'll happen?
I wasn't confident when I first heard about it. It sounds like one of those fairy tale fights that people talk about but don't actually get over the line. I heard this 3-4 months ago. I just dismissed it. I heard it a week ago. I went along with it, but deep down I thought this isn't going to happen. And today it's been made official. Jake Paul is going to get in a ring in a boxing match, boxing gloves, to mix it with one of the most dangerous heavyweights on the planet, someone who is Olympic gold medalist, won the heavyweight championship twice. Although he lost his last fight against a very good Daniel Dubois, he's a top 10 heavyweight on the planet versus internet sensation, someone who's a latecomer to boxing and has boxed at a very moderate level. I'm talking domestic level, and he lost to Tommy Fury, for instance. And Tommy Fury, who he lost to, versus Anthony Joshua, they're two completely different sports. So I commend Jake Paul for putting himself in harm's way, because boxing is a dangerous game. People have died in the ring. People have been seriously injured, maimed. And he believes in himself enough to do it on a massive scale, because it's not about the money. He's got enough money. This is him wanting to push the boundaries of reality. He's manifested an amazing life for himself. He's a superstar, and I think he wants to try and do the unthinkable. He wants to. It's an insane challenge he's put himself up for, but you got to give him credit.
You say an insane challenge. You've described it before as Jake Paul being a cat versus Anthony Joshua's lion.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not equally matched on any sense, are they?
There's not one element of their boxing skill set that Jake Paul can come 15-20% in regards to Anthony Joshua. He's a completely different specimen. You'll see what it looks like when they stand next to each other. And Anthony Joshua, he's not a bodybuilder. He's a prime athlete. He's someone who's dedicated his life to this. He lives it. He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. He's a real clean athlete who is going to inflict some horrendous damage to Jake Paul. And I hope we've got a referee in there who's quite compassionate, because if Jake Paul is left, up against the ropes with Anthony Joshua.
On the other side, Anthony Joshua's camp is expecting a decisive outcome. Promoter Eddie Hearn has suggested that Paul could be overwhelmed within the early rounds, arguing that a clean, well-timed punch from Joshua could quickly end the contest. Hearn frames this matchup as an opportunity for Joshua to reestablish a standing in the heavyweight division and potentially set up a high-profile bout in 2026, possibly against another elite contender like Tyson Fury. The focus is firmly back on top-tier heavyweight competition.
AJ versus Jake Paul. Not gonna lie, did not ever see this happening, like ever, ever, ever. So were you just as surprised when he agreed to do it as the world was?
Yeah, I mean, I had to deal with obviously knowing that it might happen, and then the contract coming through signed by Jake Paul, and I sort of looked at it, I was like, oh my God, he's done it. So yeah, look, I have to give him credit. I do think he's crazy. I think he's got absolutely no chance. I think he's going to get smashed to pieces.
Do you think Jake's crazy?
Yeah, I mean totally. I mean, listen, for us, we received an offer that was massive money and a really easy fight. We were talking about fighting this week here in an 8-round fight. Now we're fighting in an 8-round fight for 40 times more money against Jake Paul. So I love the opportunity for AJ.
I really appreciate what this fight means for Joshua on multiple fronts. But is Jake Paul stepping into genuinely risky territory by taking on Anthony Joshua? That wraps up today's video. Make sure to stay tuned for more updates. Catch you in the next one.